Hi everyone. So these days I am taking part in the annual LEGO Serious Play International Conference, the Brickmind Community Conference. And it's been a really interesting day. It's day one today. It's been a really interesting day, fascinating speakers, lots of learnings, lots of insights. And this evening we've been treated to a visit to LEGO House. I'm going to show you some of the most extraordinary Lego that I've ever seen in my life. So over here, you can see a tree built in Lego, and that goes all the way down to the ground floor. So there's a stairway that takes you all the way down to the ground floor, and this tree goes all the way up through the height of the building. There's also a Lego waterfall over here that I want to show you. Let's see where it is. There we go. Right over there on the wall is a waterfall, a colorful waterfall made purely from Lego. So I wanted to jump on here and share, by the way, you'll also see my name tag is everyone has their own built name tags. So I wanted to jump on here and share one of the very many insights that I've taken away from today. One of the speakers today was Harvard Business School professor Amy Edmonson. She's come out with a new book called The Right Kind of Wrong: The Science of Failing Well. And she talked about failing, the science of failing, how there are different types of failures, and that not all failures are a negative. I think it's something that we all recognize from our own lives, that sometimes failure is actually what leads us to something better, something greater, something more matured or advanced, especially when we're talking about sort of organizational failures and learning from those and moving on and growing past them. She had a really great sentence, which is the one little nugget that I wanted to share with you today. And she was talking about pilots, how in many projects there's always a pilot, some kind of test to go first before you roll something out in the wider organization. And when we run pilots, there's very often the underlying assumption, whether it's verbalized explicitly or not, there's an underlying assumption that or expectation that we want the pilot to do well. We want the pilot to succeed. We don't want the pilot to fail. Because if the pilot succeeds, then we can take that next step. Then we can start implementing on a wider scale. And Professor Amy Edmonson had a completely different take on that. She said, your pilot should fail so that your launch can be a success. Let that sink in for a minute. The pilot should fail so that the launch can be a success. And what she meant by that was that a well-constructed pilot should draw out every potential material risk that we want to make sure that we've covered in the wider rollout. And so if our pilot is too small scaled, if it's not well thought through enough, if it doesn't have enough imagination in the scenarios that we're considering when we're putting together a pilot, then we can create a false sense of security through this pilot, where we do a pilot that goes very well. We think that we're ready for everything, and then we roll something out and there's something unexpected that happens. I thought that was a really interesting perspective on failure, and also on pilots and how we view pilots. And I think there, as leaders, as managers, we also have a responsibility around what kind of language, what kind of signals are we sending around failures and tests and experiments in our organizations. Are we setting them up for, we want them to be a success, and then what does that look like? Or are we also looking for what kind of intelligent failures can we have so that we can learn and then do even better? So I will continue exploring this amazing Lego house. I hope that can give some food for thought, that pilots are supposed to fail so that our launches can be successes. Take from that what you can and what you like. I'm wishing you all a wonderful evening here from Billund, the original birthplace of Lego, where the Lego headquarters, International World headquarters of Lego, still is. And I look forward to seeing you on my next walk.